A lot of people ask, Grease, have you sought help? Yes, I'm under treatment for constant flashbacks. I have the gift of being able to look back into past lives, and sometimes I think it's more of a curse than a gift. I believe in reincarnation. I believe I lived a long, long time ago back in the Holy Roman Empire as the Emperor Tulchas Facius, together with my bride, Sleaze Bagius. We had an idyllic lifestyle. I had a son who would one day take over the kingdom, and his name was Forskinius. On his 16th birthday, I said, Forskinius. He said, yes, my father. I said, come with me, Forskinius. You're 16 now. It's time you should see something. He said, where are we going, father? I said, we're going to the dungeon, Forskinius. Come with me. And so, round and round, down those dank steps, we walked until we came to the massive door of the dungeon. I said, help me with this, son, help me. And so he put his shoulder into it. We opened that door. Push! Push the door, son. All right, now, step in with me. Keep close by my side, lad. The floor is wet. You can slip easily. My son said, what is this place? I said, this is where the heads of my enemies are stored. And sure enough, the boy looked around, and there, each one on its own little podium, a skull with a plaque underneath it. I said, come with me. Here is the head of Numnutzius. I caught him with your mother Sleaze Bagius many years ago. And I have his skull as a reminder of what I do to people that philander with my wife. My son looked at it and shuddered. I said, here you see the skull of Spermicles, a swine who tried to usurp my power. I said, here's the skull of Douchebagius, the man that made me late for the inauguration. Follow close behind me, my son, for you must see that one day your enemies will be here. One day, when I'm long gone, you shall be Emperor. And here's where you'll put your skulls. Look at them, look at them. All the people that would do me harm. The skull of Suppositorius, the skull of Blubolius, the skull of Flatulus. They're all here. Remember that time Pompeius tried to run me down with a chariot? There's his skull to show for it. Remember the time Hotdonicus was late for a meeting? There's his skull to show for it. Remember the time Dildonius let me oversleep? And I was late for the orgy? The orgy, there's his skull. And so my son followed behind me, looking around with a mixture of fascination and horror at the room with the skulls. There was one skull that had a special position. My son had heard rumors that I had a favorite skull. He said, May I hold it, father? I said, yes, you may, my son. And so he lifted my favorite skull, looked at it, and said, wow. Hey, father, how come the eye holes are lined with velvet? I said, give me that. That's next year's tour. I'll explain that to you.